Meeting call to order at 7 p.m. Our first order of business will be roll call. President,
Present.
Vice President, present. Director of Administrative Affairs, Director of Financial Affairs,
Present.
Director of Government and Legal Affairs,
Present.
Director of Technology and Web Development,
Present.
Director of Student Organization Partnership Board, Director of Student Relations,
Present.
Director of Foreign Outreach, Vice Chair of Senate,
Present.
Senator Wong,
Present.
Senator Erickson,
Present.
Senator King,
Present.
Senator Carter,
Present.
Senator Weismiller,
Present.
Senator Sangavar,
Present.
Our next order of business will be the approval of the agenda. I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Senator Carter,
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
is there a second? Senator King,
I second it.
all in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The agenda is approved as presented. We will now move on to the approval of the previous meeting minutes. I entertain a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes.
I move to approve the previous meeting minutes.
Is there a second? Senator Carter.
I second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The previous meeting minutes are approved as presented. Our next order of business will be the director reports. Mr. President.
I had my first meeting regarding the Spin Scooters initiative that we're still working on. Key steps following this would be collecting policies that engage with students. Most of this would be regarding in case if there's any misuse or any harm to certain units, how our other universities responding to it. We are one step ahead of finalizing, but yet we're still investigating on how we can work on this. I will also have a meeting scheduled with Associate Dean of Students, and we will be working on contacting different representatives of the company to see where we can take the agreement. So I had a meeting also with the staff council and the faculty councils. The meeting was, the purpose of the meeting was to hear updates on students' body side, on staff, and on faculty. One of the most important issues that arose out of our conversations was that staff does feel that their voices aren't equally heard, and they are also looking to engage students in different events. One of their most important events they will be looking for is the Spirit Week, which will be coming up, and then we also have voter engagement and mock-up polls going to be set up, and the student government will be helping advertising those once the action is set to in a plan. I also had a meeting with the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs and the Chancellor. We discussed some key issues regarding students. Something that I did bring up was food insecurity and how we can help food pantry grow. Another issue was also discussed regarding living and food situation. We will have our next meeting next month, and with that, we will be bringing in certain more related representatives and resources on how we can work together to finalize a plan to advocate for more resources towards food insecurity, whether that would be working with the development office or working with the vice chancellor of student affairs. I also have my letter to student body that I would like to read out. Fellow students, as promised during the election campaign, I'm writing this monthly letter about updates in student government and on campus during the month of September, and also introducing our platform. The Bardwaj Adira administration's platform this year is Engage Student Life, Inclusive Campus, and Accountability and Transparency. While there are a number of issues that are found within these 3 points, we are working with the university administration to solve more. Here are a couple of key points. We are still looking for members. The student government's major aim was to recruit senators in the month of September. While we have been meeting that goal, we are also still looking for more senators. If you are interested, please find the details that will be sent along this email to student body or contact our office. Our student government leaders will be represented on various university level committees and meetings with university administration. This is of key importance for all the students. We are your voice, and as your elected leaders, you can always reach out to us for your concerns. Student reps and expanding with the student government. A major development of our administration is to gain student representatives on different departments, colleges, and schools. My vision with the student government team is to have smaller board of representatives in every college or department. Representation across the campus matters, and that is why we would like these representatives to bring in concerns to the student government and centrally represent students from different parts of campus. Spin scooters. Another major development that is a potential and exciting project is spin scooters. We are still investigating into the possibility of bringing this to our campus. When choosing this project, our aim as SG was never to use students' money for a project like this. Here are key reasons that we are looking into this project. Consumer application. Just like Uber, a student pays 15 cents per minute cost. The university has no major investment involved within the project. Security. Each unit can be controlled by the company to limit it in a geofence and also speed zones. Also, these units will be rearranged and replaced daily as confirmed from the representative on the company. Jobs. It will create jobs on campus and jobs for Flint locals by installing warehouses in the local area. Financial saving. We will be potentially moving towards saving $9,000 annually on the Zaxter bikes with decreased cost and increased units of transportation with these scooters. We fund your student org. The student government also allows the opportunity for all our student organizations to request financial assistance. This year we have increased the budget and by funding more than $8,000 as we welcome new and proactive student organizations. Board of Regents. I will also be addressing the Board of Regent meeting on October 17th at Riverfront Banquet Hall. We are your voice. Student government representatives will be attending as many student organizations and university events as possible. We've also increased the budget for student government initiatives on campus. As we continue to look for more representatives and senators to add to our team, we will be trying our best to represent and be your voice. As elected leaders, we are the voice of each and every student and not just a few. If you have any concerns, please reach out to the student government office at 364 Houston or contact us at flint.sil.sg@unitch.edu. Thank you. With that, I yield.
In terms of my report, I was able to interview 4 more senators who we did not have on the team today. I was able to finalize our student government retreat, and we have decided that it is much better for us to speak amongst the board and Senate about how to lead, and then come together once every month to eat. I have also started working on an onboarding document for senators alongside Vice Chair Sturgeon. And I have sent all the senators the Constitution and the USC for them to look over and just understand how student government works. And I've just been trying to meet up with all of them so they just understand how to lead and what it means to be on student government. And with that, I yield. Director of Administrative Affairs.
So in terms of my report, the last dance meeting minutes have been approved today, so they will be sent out in 24 hours. I will definitely try to be much more regular with this. There have been some problems going on, but because I was just getting started with it, but from now on it will be sent out within the time limit. A new system has been incorporated for recording our office hours as sent out as the email was sent out by President Bharadwaj. So we will start using that from tomorrow, and with that I yield.
Director of Financial Affairs.
The funding board had its first meeting this past Thursday. It was more of an introductory meeting. The allocation request form was also made live on Friday, the day after the meeting. The funding board is having its first official closed meeting tomorrow, at 4 p.m. So it's not going to be open to anyone except the funding board members. We're going to start reviewing allocation requests, that we've already received. And while I'm at this, I want to say I have space for one more senator to be on the board. So if any of you senators are interested in being on the board, please speak to me. The sooner we get this done, the better it's going to be, because we'll be able to be more efficient with the allocation requests. I'm going to be working with the director of web and technology to set up and clean up the funding board page on the website. I feel like there's still a few things that can be misleading on that website, given the changes and the new things we're trying to bring about, and how we're trying to streamline the process. I feel like we need to really just fix the website and go to the right things. The budgeting sheet is almost done. It should be done this week. It should be finalized. I'll run it by the president once it's completed. As for allocation requests, the flyers have been approved by the SIL office. They'll be posted around campus tomorrow and on Friday. So please encourage people you know in DSOs to have a look at them. I'll be sending out an email with the flyer as well. Aside from that, we are working on finding the best option for Scantrons and Blue Books, because we want to assist students as much as we can while still being fiscally responsible. So that should be done this week as well. And with that, I yield.
The Director of Government and Legal Affairs.
Hello, everyone. So the work on the new constitution is being finalized. And the Committee for Government and Legal Affairs, I've worked on creating a vision and a plan for what I want that to look like, as well as outlining some of our major projects that I already know we have to work on this year. I met with Dr. Snyder earlier today, and we discussed a few more ways to get more students involved with the Committee for Government and Legal Affairs from outside of student government. And with that, I yield.
Director of Technology and Web Development.
For my report, recently I worked on the website a little bit more. I created a page for our services we provide. Before it was a little unorganized, so I got it all in one place. I also made posters, so they're going to be posted around our office, just so students are more aware of the services we provide. I've also changed the homepage. It's a lot more clear and a lot less cluttered. I took the services off, added some buttons to some pages that are a little bit more important. I started cleaning up the funding board committee page, and I cleaned up all the other committees, all the information that is old, because they have to be updated for this year as these committees are starting up again. I've also made a senator recruitment flyer. I've sent that out to an executive board member, and they're going to help distribute it just so we can start getting more senators and get a full student government body. And I've also took all the 4 new senators we have, I've taken all of their photos. I've contacted them all about their bio questions to update the website. I've also gotten in contact with them all regarding their office hours, so I can post their office hours on our door. And I also want to look into a way to make people's office hours also on our website, whether it's on their bio page or just some way to make them a little more accessible. And that I yield.
Director of Student Organization Partnership Board.
Hello, everyone. Just to let you know, a couple events coming up. The Wildlife Club is hosting the Flint River Cleanup. It's on Saturday, October 12th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you're interested in helping, they're looking for volunteers just to keep our campus clean and bright. So RSVP via Engage for this event. Also, the Thompson Library has their first used book sale going on right now for the month of October, actually. They're selling any gently used books that they're no longer needing for their collection. And Monday through Thursday, all the materials are $1, and unless it's marked differently or labeled differently. But Monday through Thursday, all materials are $1. Friday and Saturday, it's a grab bag days. So you bring your own bag and you fill it up for just $5. And just to note, they're only accepting cash. So no Venmo, no Cash Apps, unfortunately. With that, I know.
Director of Student Relations.
Hey everybody, I'm just gonna go right into it. I met with George Hakeem, the Director of Facilities and Operations this morning. And I did talk about some concerns that were brought up to me, which I'm gonna go over real quick. But before I do that, I just wanna say, I was very happy with how the Director of Facilities and Operations responded to me. It was within a day of me asking, which, most of the deans take about a month to respond to me. And I think that should symbolize that they listen to us and they're responding to us students. So if you guys, it emboldens the idea that if you have a concern, through student government, we can make something happen. And then it also ties into my committee, which I'll get into in a sec. But I want to go over what we talked about during the meeting. A big complaint that people have were the third floor USEN windows facing McKinnon Plaza were filthy. And so it seems the idea is that a lot of the ceilings on the windows broke, as in like the seams on the cracks on the sides, I guess. The way they explained it to me would mean that the windows kept fogging up and getting dirty. They do clean them regularly, but it's like every couple of years because it costs a ton of money. The result is that they're going to be replacing them, but it's not going to be anytime soon. It'll be within a couple of years because it costs about $1 million to replace them. And so it's obviously not feasible in the budget they have right now. For anyone living in Riverfront, though, it's good news. The middle elevator's been down since the start of the school year. They're going to have it fixed over the fall break this month. And for those who are wondering, the stairways in McKinnon Plaza should be completed this week. It just been delayed due to weather. And they don't really have any other plans outside of that to do anything more outside of painting them and setting up the little side length up to the French Hall. You guys know what I'm talking about? What else? The bee situation in Picasso, which I was told about yesterday. It seems that even they weren't that well aware of it, but apparently some guys that were stationed at Picasso were handling it. And this morning they were working with pest control to combat the situation. From what they told me, there was a gap in one of the walls, and bees were coming in, escaping from the weather. But they closed up the gap, they caulked up the gap, and they were using pesticides or whatever they use to kill bugs. And they are going to keep doing it until they don't find any more dead bees. So, as far as I know, they're handling the situation as we speak. And they were very productive in the meeting they had. It was short, it was to the point, and they were eager to keep meeting again. They offered to do a bi-weekly meeting with me. And my point of saying all that is that they're willing to listen to us. So again, if you guys have any concerns relating to this, that isn't exactly a work order form related concern, that can't be solved through that. Because even then, if they don't get to it immediately within a couple weeks, it's a good thing for us to remind them. One last thing about that. I also talked to them about campaigning to use the work order form. If you guys know, we can use that to get problems fixed, and usually fix it in like 1 or 2 days. They're pretty good with this stuff. But a lot of people don't know how to use the work order forms, apparently, or they're too shy to use them. They think it's only for faculty. It is for students, too. I think it's mainly used for students. I use it all the time. And that would be the rest of that. So, and then I'll move on. I'm finalizing the meeting times and locations for my Student Relations Committee. I've asked about 150 people so far. Not individually, through class sessions, I would get up and talk. And I've got a couple signatures. I'm still looking for representatives from the School of Nursing, College of Health Sciences, and School of Education and Human Services. So if any of you senators are interested in being part of that committee, it's essentially a job where you come in and complain to me. And I take care of the issues, and we get donuts. So, and it's bi-weekly, so it's not a huge commitment, and I think it'd be worthwhile. So, Outside of that, I also worked with President Bardwaj to determine locations for Blue Book and Scantron locations. Where we're gonna have stands that show that's being represented by student government, and we're gonna have all our Blue Books and Scantrons for you to access them. We're trying to have one in each campus building. And lastly, I met on one-on-one with Marcus Williams, a fifth-year senior, and discussed student concerns that mainly curtailed towards safety and camp advising. So that's probably gonna be my next concern that I tackle after the facilities and operations. But I will be following up with those people probably monthly. So if you got anything else you gotta tell me, do it. And with that, I yield.
Director of Foreign Outreach.
Alright, so let's just jump right in. There was a Students of Michigan meeting that occurred this past weekend in Dearborn. There were delegates from Flint, Ann Arbor, and Dearborn. On behalf of Flint, it was myself and Director Goy that attended. We went over updates regarding the SAM lobbying and Lansing Day. We decided that due to time constraints that we'll have an additional meeting this Saturday, and I will be able to report on what comes out of that next week. We'll be discussing editing some of the bylaws that were created last fall. And there's going to be a discussion on health and legal services on Flint and Dearborn campuses. We'll briefly talk about the survey that's kind of in the works right now. We also planned all of the meetings for that committee for the rest of the semester, and I will be able to email those out. I also contacted the president of the Student Association at SCSU to confirm and inquire about the November conference that they're holding. The conference is taking place on November 9th with a meet and greet the night before on the 8th from 6 to 10 p.m. I received an email back from their parliamentarian with a link to the conference and their sign-up link. So in total, 6 people are able to go to the conference. There's going to be 3 delegates that will go who will represent U of M Flint at the United Legislative Session, and then 3 additional attendees who can't participate in the ULS, but can attend breakout sessions throughout the day. As of now, I will be the delegation leader. President Bardwaj will attend as another delegate. I have 1 other delegate position available, which will be reserved for a member of the Senate. Also attending the conference as non-voting parties will be Director Crowley, and then Director Salim said that he was interested. There are more non-voting spots available, and Senator Yang and Vice Chair Sturgeon expressed interest in going, but if anyone else is interested in attending, just email me and let me know, and we can kind of work with that. I also emailed 2 delegates from Grand Valley who will be helping me write the resolution on behalf of the Student Association of Michigan. Waiting on a response from them, and when I get a response, we're going to move forward with writing the resolution, setting times to do that. And then I have a meeting with Mia McNeil October 7th. So if anyone has any questions or concerns they want me to bring up with her, let me know. And then with that,
Vice Chair of Senate.
Hello, everybody. So this past week, it's been pretty productive. Yeah. So I reached out to our Director Fox about collaborating with the Student Concern Survey. My caucus is mostly concerned about parking, so I was sending them questions about what we can ask students so that we can get the most beneficial information from students about parking, whether it be parking concerns about how much parking there is, the safety measurements that are in each parking lot, the blue lights, them knowing how and when to call DPS concerning anything parking, and to see if they actually know about how to express any concerns that I might have through the parking committee's concern form. So I just wanted to see how many people actually knew how to express those concerns to the parking committee, and to give them the link and the knowledge to actually do that. Concerning Senate, I started implementing reminders about reports and meeting times just to get that a regular thing, and I'm going to start reaching out to senators individually to see how they're doing and get any updates on that caucus. President O'Dear and I, Vice President O'Dear and I have been trying to schedule a senator meeting that everyone can go to. Class schedules and everyone's being busy has prevented us from doing that, but we have been working on finding that time. I also worked on the senator orientation this past week with Vice President O'Dear as well, with our newly appointed senators. Like she said, we're onboarding a senator expectations document just to get newly appointed senators into the groove of how state government works, and just certain expectations that we have regarding anything concerning senators. And then I help facilitate the senator orientation. With that, I yield.
We will now be moving on to advisory reports.
Just a couple things. So Director Jory is working on updating our ASGA profile. ASGA is the National Association for Student Government. And so he'll be updating our profile and giving you usernames and passwords so that you can go onto this resource and look at what other student governments are doing across the country as you investigate your caucuses and other issues that you would like to tackle. Applications for the University Conduct Committee. So student representatives for the University Conduct Committee. This is a group that hears student conduct violations for students. And so we need student representatives. Those applications are due Friday, and those can be found on Engage under the Office of the Dean of Students. And so please, if you have friends who aren't involved, it's a real low time commitment involvement once you're trained. And we really need students to be a part of this process. It's a student-driven process. And the last thing is we're doing the first donuts with deans in the School of Management with Dean Scott Johnson on October 28th at 1:45 in the Innovation Center in Riverfront.
We will now be moving on to senator reports. Senator Wong.
Hi, so, Ashley did the past week, I met with Ryan, who's counselor in the CAP's office, last Wednesday to brainstorm ideas for my caucus. I want my caucus to focus on mental health and wellness. I attended my first funding board meeting, last Thursday, basically with introductions and covering guidelines and expectations. I also met with Heather Johnson and Helen Budd to see about possible collaboration for my caucus. And I joined the Committee of Student Relations. I've helped try to recruit student representatives by posting on social media, mainly aiming at College of Health and Science and nursing students. And with that, I yield.
Senator Erickson.
Yes, so throughout my first week as a senator, I have been reading through the Constitution as well as the USC. I have been looking to join a committee and have been in touch with Director Rowley about potentially joining GLA. I also attended the Senate orientation last night where any questions that I had were answered. And I've also been formulating ideas for a caucus and looking to have that finalized by next week. And with that, I yield.
Senator King.
Hello, pertaining to my caucus will be to connect with high school student councils to develop a leadership role that student government here at U of M can lead in. So to teach them how to be better leaders within their school. I reached out to the student council advisors at Carmel High School. They're interested, they're really interested. They want student government presence from U of M. I also met with directors about their committees. I'm looking forward to working with every director. I love their committees and what they're striving to do as time permits. I've also read this Unified Student Code and Constitution. I reviewed it and it was great. With that, I yield.
Senator Carter.
For my caucus this year, I've decided to revive my caucus from last year, which I did not get a chance to carry out. I hope to host an event on campus to inform students of their rights as workers, and in order to get this event to happen, I hope to meet with President Board and the Director Upmore in order to avoid the organizational failures that sounds like my last attempt at this. I also hope to reach out to more interested parties on campus to make the event bigger and more comprehensive than originally planned. I do.
Senator Weismiller.
Good evening, everyone. Over the past week, I joined the Student Relations Committee, joining there with Director Fox. I also attended the Senator orientation meeting, and I submitted my questions to probe the student body for what their concerns are with safety on campus. And I was also attended the meeting with Marcus Williams with Director Fox to hear his concerns for campus safety. And yesterday I met with Chief Ray Hall from Public Safety, and to talk about, to bring up to his attention the students' concerns that I've collected so far. We also thought of ideas on how we could improve campus safety, and the best idea we have so far, which I think is most likely going to be my goal, is to launch a awareness campaign to help the homeless on campus and to tackle aggressive panhandlers, which have been tied to the most concerns that I've acquired from students. Our idea so far is to, instead of, to bring students to stop giving money, and instead give help. To bring awareness to there's 3 homeless shelters around campus, well, not around campus, but in the surrounding area. So the idea is to give them direction instead of money, which will help, I believe, increase the sense of security on campus. And I'm going to meet with the organizer at, I think it's the Carriage House or Carriage Inn? Carriage Town. The chief pointed me in that direction to meet with him to coordinate this awareness campaign. And with that, I yield.
Senator Stonewall.
Good evening, everyone. I attended the Senate meeting yesterday, and I've been talking to students in the First Residency Hall. And I have a meeting on Saturday with one of the RAs about the concerns, and I'd like to talk to Director Fox regarding one of the concerns that were raised here. With that, I yield.
We will now move on to university committee reports. President Barton.
The academic advisory affairs, looks like I was on. The Academic Affairs Advisory Committee will be meeting on October 9th. If you have any concerns, please contact me by October 8th as soon as possible. With that, I yield.
Are there any other university committee reports? Director Butmore.
Okay. The Faculty Advisory Committee on University Outreach is going to be meeting October 23rd. So if you have anything you want me to bring up there, just let me know by the 26th.
Are there any other university committee reports? The floor is now closed for university committee reports. We will, before I open the floor to members of the student government for questions, comments and concerns, are there any from our audience? The floor is now closed for questions, comments, and concerns from our audience. Are there any questions, comments, and concerns from the members of student government? Director Upmore.
Okay, so I just wanted to let everyone know, I forgot to mention this in my report, but after looking at the NSELB data, I was talking to the Campus Election Engagement Project, Michigan State Coordinator, Ellen Weirman, and out of all of the reports that she received, we don't have all of the private universities in the state, but out of all of the public universities in the state that she's received, Michigan-Flint has the highest voter registration rate in the state, so. I'm really proud of us, so go blue.
Are there any other questions, comments, and concerns?
I just want to go back to something I brought up in my report. I brought up the idea of the senator being on the funding board. I kind of just want to give like a few words as to why this is so important. The reason this is so important is because the funding board is using student money to allocate funds to voluntary student organizations. And in order for us to do that as impartially and fairly as we can, we need equal representation of everybody, whether it's members of student government, members at large. So the current board makeup is with 3 senators and 3 members at large. The members at large are on the board already. I've got 2 senators and I need 1 more senator to meet that. this is something where you get to discuss. It's a good experience. You'll get to kind of decide as to where money should be spent based on whether it benefits students or not. So if any of you are interested, please do reach out to me, do talk to me. I'm trying to get this finalized as soon as I can.
Are there any other questions, comments, and concerns about Director Fox?
I just wanted to mention something. Even if you're not a part of this committee, the student relations committee, doesn't mean you can't come to me with concerns, obviously. But I want you guys to understand that if you hear concerns, please direct them towards me, like the senator has, mentioned earlier. So that's it. That's I yield.
Are there any other questions, comments, and concerns from members of student government?
I just want to go back to my caucus, my awareness campaign. Now, it is not a campaign to vilify or demonize homeless people that are on campus. It's to get them help and to, at the same time, help improve safety for students' concerns for safety on campus. And again, when we give money, we're potentially buying the needle that might kill them. So just wanted to make clear on that. I'm clear on that. And with that, I yield.
Are there any other questions, comments, and concerns from the members of student government? The floor is now closed for questions, comments, and concerns from student government. Meeting adjourned at 7:36.
Yeah.